Good morning, everyone. My name is Ahmad Nabil bin Mazli Sapirun, and today I am going to talk about rail transportation systems. We will look at how trains work on a global scale, and then we will look at a local example, the Kuala Lumpur monorail trains. Trains and tracks form the backbone of how we move goods and people around the world. Over the next 10 minutes, we will look at the pros and cons of railroads and how cities improve them for passengers. Let's start with the basics of global rail networks. To understand rail transport, we first need to look at the three main features that make it different from cars, planes, or ships. Fixed infrastructure, mass capacity, and energy efficiency. First, fixed infrastructure means trains can only run on highly engineered pathway like steel tracks because they have their own dedicated tracks and station. Trains don't get stuck in car traffic. This makes their schedules very organized and predictable. Second is mass capacity. Trains are huge. A single train can carry thousands of passengers or massive amount of heavy cargo all at once. Because they carry so much at one time, the shipping cost for each individual item becomes much cheaper. Third is energy efficiency. Trains use steel wheel on steel track. This creates very little friction when moving because they slide easily. Locomotives don't need a lot of engine power to pull heavy weight, making them very eco-friendly with a low carbon footprint. Even though trains are great, building a railway network involves big trade-offs. Let's look at the advantages versus the limitation. On the positive side, rail is highly cost efficient for moving heavy cargo over long distance. It is much better for the environment than driving or flying because it produces less pollution. It is also incredibly safe because central signaling system control the trains to prevent crashes. For cities, trains take thousands of drivers off the roads, which stop traffic jams. However, there are heavy limitations. The biggest issue is the massive upfront cost. Buying land and laying down miles of tracks is incredibly expensive. Trains are also inflexible. If a factory changes its location, you cannot easily move the train tracks to match it. This creates intermodal dependency, which means trains cannot deliver to your front door. You still need trucks to drive the last mile from the station. Finally, remote or mountainous areas usually get left out because it is too hard to build tracks there. Now, let's see how this works in real life here in Malaysia. The government is currently expanding our rail network to connect cities and lower business costs. There are three major projects right now. First is the East Coast Rail Link or ECRL. This is a massive 665-kilometer project. It used standard size track to create a direct bridge across the country, connecting Kota Baharu on the east coast straight to the Port Klang on the west coast. Second is the Gemas to JB or Johor Bahru double tracking project. This project is upgrading and electrifying the train tracks in the south, which will make travel smooth all the way to down to the Singapore border. Third is urban rapid expansion. Inside the crowded Klang Valley, projects like the LRT-3 and the new MRT lines are being built to double the number of people who use public transit. Running a railway takes teamwork from three main groups of people, known as stakeholders. Group 1 is the regulators. These are government bodies like the Ministry of Transport, MOT, and APAD. Their job is to make national law, hand out licenses, enforce safety rules, and manage railway land. Group 2 is the operators. These are companies like KTMB, Prasarana, and Rapid Rail. They do daily hard work, creating schedules, fixing the trains, managing cargo, and driving passengers safely every day. Group 3 is the consumers. These are everyday commuters going to school or work, and businesses using trains to ship heavy materials. To have a successful railway, the operator must keep the consumer happy. This brings us to the second half of the presentation, a case study on the Kuala Lumpur monorail. We will look at how it helps the city and what passengers think about it. The KL monorail is a special type of elevated city transit. It runs on a single concrete beam above the ground, stretching 8.6 kilometers with 11 stations from KL Central to Titiwangsa. The best thing about the monorail is that it does not take up any space on the ground. It weaves right through the crowded city areas and busy shopping districts. By using 2-car and 4-car trains, it glides above traffic jams, carrying thousands of commuters safely every day. To see how well the monorail is doing, researchers collected data on what makes passengers happy. The results are quite interesting. The number one factor is scoring a perfect 100% in importance is the provision of information. Passengers care most about getting clear live updates and when there is a train delay. The second most important factor at 74.5% is station facilities. Passengers want comfortable, clean and safe platforms while they wait. The third factor is signage clarity at 56.3%. Having a clear sign is important, but the data prove that commuters value live information and good facilities above everything else. Based on that data, there are 3 clear ways we can optimize and improve the monorail system. First, to address the 100% need for information, operators should install digital screens at platforms and update mobile apps. This give passengers exact countdown for trains arrivals and instant delay alerts. Second, for crowd control, platforms should be upgraded with automatic screen doors and clear lines painted on the floor. This keeps students and workers safe during busy rush hour. Third, station need larger, brighter sign written in multiple language. This help regular commuters and tourists switch between the monorail and other transit lines without getting lost. In conclusion, rail transport is powerful because it carries huge groups of people cleanly and efficiently, even though it costs a lot to build. As we saw with the KL monorail, running a grid system is not just about the trains. It is about giving passengers clear information, safe platform, and easy signs.